Okay, so get this, everyone. The U.S. government might be getting like a total makeover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're talking about shrinking it down.
Wow.
Big time.
Okay.
And you know what's kind of wild is that the inspiration for this is coming from Argentina.
Huh, interesting.
So House Speaker Mike Johnson just came out and said he supports a plan to cut the number of U.S. government agencies way down.
Okay.
From 428
Wow, that's a lot.
down to just 99.
Really?
I know, right?
Yeah.
And get this, people are comparing this to what's going on in Argentina with their new president, Javier Milei.
Huh. So what's the story there?
Well, Milei is really shaking things up down there. He's cut like 10% of government workers, shut down 13 government agencies. It's pretty drastic.
Yeah, I can see how that would get people's attention.
Yeah, and a lot of, economists and stuff thought it would be a total disaster, but it seems to be working so far. So now you've got people here in the U.S. like Elon Musk and people in the Donald Trump administration saying, hey, maybe we could try that here.
Uh-huh.
But 428 agencies down to 99.
Yeah.
That's a huge change. I mean, is that even possible?
It's definitely, it's incredibly ambitious.
Yeah.
You have to think about all the different things that the government does, like regulating industries and providing services.
Right.
To go from 428 down to 99,
Yeah.
that would require a total, like, top to bottom overhaul of, well, everything.
Yeah, I was reading that this thing called the Chevron doctrine might be a factor in this whole thing.
Right.
So what is that exactly, and could it actually help make this plan happen?
Okay, so the Chevron doctrine, it was this legal precedent that gave federal agencies a lot of power to decide how to interpret laws.
Okay.
So basically, Congress would pass a law, and if it was kind of vague, not super specific,
Right.
the agencies had a lot of freedom to decide how to put it into practice.
Oh, I see.
But the Supreme Court recently overturned Chevron. Oh.
And that could be a really big deal because it could shift the balance of power away from the agencies and back towards Congress.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So does that mean that Congress could, step in and make things more clear, set some stricter limits on what agencies can do?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why some people think that now is the perfect time to try to shrink the government. Because if Congress has more control over how agencies are run,
Yeah.
it might be easier to combine some agencies.
Right.
Or maybe even get rid of some altogether.
That makes sense. This is huge. But you said there might be some pushback, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
For one thing, just figuring out which agencies to cut and how to combine all their different functions, that's a massive project in itself.
Right.
And then there's going to be a huge political battle over it too.
Yeah.
You can be sure that the people who work in those agencies and the people who depend on the services that those agencies provide, they're going to fight really hard to keep things the way they are. Yeah, I imagine so. It's making me wonder, what would a smaller U.S. government even look like?
Yeah.
What would it mean for us, in our daily lives?
Right.
And if this actually starts to happen, what kinds of changes should we be watching for?
I think one of the biggest questions would be how they would organize those 99 remaining agencies.
Okay.
Would they focus on big, broad areas like healthcare or education, or would they be more focused on specific tasks?
Interesting.
And as you said, what would be the priorities? What would they decide to keep, and what would they decide to cut? Those are really big choices. They would have a big impact on everyone.
It sounds like if the U.S. government really does decide to go on this kind of massive diet,
Yeah.
we're all going to have to pay close attention to see, who comes out ahead and who ends up losing out.
Definitely.
It's definitely something for all of us to think about. Thanks so much for breaking all this down for us.
Yeah, you got it. It's definitely a really fascinating situation.
It really is.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for our deep dive today, everyone. Thanks for listening. And as always, keep those brains buzzing.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.